Welcome, everybody, and I hope you've had a lovely weekend. I just need to warn people that there may be some content in what I'm talking about today that may distress people. We will be talking about death and suicide and different things. So if anything does affect you, please contact the relevant people if you've been disturbed by anything you hear in today's blog. Listening to Anne-Marie Smith's journey or her death, the death of Anne-Marie Smith, has really shaken me up as a mother of a child who has Down syndrome and whose greatest fear on earth is that will happen to her when I'm gone, that there'll be nobody to look out for her when I'm gone who care for her. And when I look at the house that Anne-Marie lived in, and I look at her photo, I think to myself, your parents did so much to prevent this happening, to help you to continue to have a dignified life once they were gone. And yet, as we know, when we have a disability or we have a person that we dearly love who has a disability, it's not a sprint. It's actually a marathon, and people may have been there for Anne-Marie at the beginning. I don't know, but certainly 10 years on, life happens, and when life happens, sometimes people get left behind, and when people get left behind, bad things are able to happen. I am a single mum, and Chloe's only sibling lives in another country, and we keep hearing, what about the family? Why weren't there other people who were taking an interest or loved Anne-Marie that were active in her life? And I thought, it frightens me so much, because that could be Chloe. Absolutely could be Chloe. And not because people don't love her, not because they don't take an interest in her, but because they don't take an active interest in her. Chloe's father committed suicide 10 years ago, and we had people say to us back then, Sue, we're here to help you. We will do whatever it takes. We'll take Chloe out. We'll have Chloe on weekends. We'll do that. And they genuinely meant it. And it lasted about a year, because they don't get that it's a long-term thing. And it doesn't mean they love her less. They don't love her less. They love her deeply. Her family love her deeply. But they don't think about having an active role in Chloe's life. Chloe actually, she's quite social. She's been taught to be independent, but she'll always need some support. But she even contacts people and organises or tries to organise for people to go to movies with her or go to coffee. And I'm talking not only her friends with disability, but her friends who don't have disability and her family members. And in the last 5 years, there has not been one person who's taken her up on it. I lie, one. We have one friend who lives in Queensland and we live in Victoria, and she will often ring Chloe to check how she's going, and she will, when she comes down, she goes out with Chloe. It ain't about me, because Chloe is her friend as well as I'm her friend, and we're independent friends. But everyone else, other than our neighbours who are very good with her, everyone else just sees us as a package. And my fear is, if people don't have enough time to be Chloe's active friend now and keep an eye out for Chloe now when I'm around, and I'm the only person, her nana loves her to death. Her nana is in her 80s. The only way she saw her nana for many years was when I took her over there and when I picked her up from there. Now the only way she sees her nana is if her nana pays a taxi, because I can't keep doing it. And also, it's not my family. But no other family members, no other friends actually go, hey, you know what, let's make a date, mate. Yeah, I'm happy to go out with you. We've had many times where Chloe has organised things and for one reason or another, last minute it's been cancelled and it's horrendous. It's horrendous to watch. So I then pick up the slack and take her out and do whatever that person was going to do with her. And this is nothing at all. I don't want people to feel bad. I don't want people, well, maybe I do. What I want is for us as a community to start seeing people with disabilities as people, if you genuinely like a human being, take time out to spend time with them. Be a good friend. What happened to Marianne would never, ever, ever happen if she had good friends who regularly took her out or popped in for a coffee or took her to a movie or went to dinner once a month, or neighbours who got her groceries. The neighbours saying, oh, we haven't seen her for however long. That's not acceptable. That's awful. If you haven't spotted somebody who you know is vulnerable, take it upon yourselves to just check to see that they're okay. Because I can promise you, paid services are paid services. And what happened to this woman, and I'm calling her Marianne, but I've got a feeling her name's Anne-Marie, so I'm sorry, Anne-Marie, and I'm sorry to Anne-Marie's family. But what happened to Anne-Marie, it ain't unusual. We're dealing with that sort of stuff all the time. In COVID, I'm always talking to people who are been put into lockdown with totally inactive. Stay in your bedroom. We've had many cases that don't hit the news because the people haven't died, where terrible things are happening to them by the carers they're not paid carers, they're support workers, by the support workers who are coming out to the house, and they're meant to be looking after these people, but they're not. They're just getting paid to do the minimum. And many cases also where they're on long shifts, or meant to be on long shifts, and they don't do those shifts. They only stay for a couple of hours. It's not unusual. Nothing's changed. I mean, goodness, we listen to our government. Our government never mentions disability. They don't exist. It's hidden. And because the government hides disability so well and pretends there's no people with disabilities in our Australia, it's really easy for others to pretend there's no people with disability and therefore it's not their problem. But the fact is, guys, it's your problem. It's all of our problem. We are meant to be looking after our vulnerable people. We are not meant to be having carers, and carers are the unpaid people who look after these people. We are not meant to be having them being the sole responsibility for a human being's wellness and a human being's standard of living. And when they die, oh, well, it's someone else's problem. It's all of our problem. And we need to become a good friend. And when we become a good friend, my goodness, we ring up and we go out to coffee, or we go out to brunch, or we do whatever with our friends. We go for a walk. Why should our people who have disability, why should the only friends they have be people who are paid to be their friend? That is, I don't know. I don't know. It really knocked me over on the weekend when I realised that the only people in the last few years that have taken my daughter out, other than my girlfriend from Queensland and our neighbours who do it when I go away, are paid people. The only people who are friends with Chloe are paid people. And we're social. We have a massive network, but the only people who have gone out with Chloe for dinner, movies, anything social are paid people. And that breaks my heart, because who's looking out for Chloe when I'm gone? And I don't want it to be just paid people. Okay, I think that's enough. But I hope everybody thinks that maybe, just maybe, there's somebody out there that they could become a new friend of, and an active friend. And it's not up to everybody else, it's up to all of us to make sure what happened to that woman happens to nobody ever again.